Map 2, back and forth to the bitter end. Of course, Party Astronauts pulling away when they needed to the most. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and we are on Map 2. It's the pick of Nouns, and it is do or die for the very same team, as Party Astronauts are up 1-0. No holds barred aggression towards Monster from Nouns. Early resistance from the likes of Party Astronauts as well. 3 and 4, 2 of them by Chop, make that 3. The dually Sing, they are typically hit or miss, and in this round, they most certainly hit. 3 out of the round for him. 1 for Ponal and 1 for Viz, and Party Astronauts nab the early start here on the CT side of Overpass.
That's how you control the dualies. That's a clinic by Chop. Absolutely brilliant way of managing the dual Berettas. Now it's MP9s aplenty for Party Astronauts. They want a lot of utility. 1 M4 for Viz, Deagles and a Tech 9 rather on B-Wills. Nouns are going for their force as is customary. This team never slows down. They never put on the brakes. They don't have brakes. Hey, if there were roads, they'd say, where we're going, we don't need roads. The only thing is, they hope to be going to Poland. And not just back to the online circuit.
You don't need roads. You need the sky. Sky's the limit.
Well, sky's a road.
It's also the preferred route for planes, of course. You can't take a road to Katowice, unfortunately.
Not
Cynic.
from the U.S. anyway.
Nope. It's Deagles, though. We're talking about Deagles. Cynic, it's not a 1 Deag, but he gets it done. Marky, other side of the map. Not so lucky. Back and forth. 4 versus 4. Anybody's round, but Party Astronauts still looking pretty good. 3 MP9s and M4. No utility, or actually 2 flashes. That's all to be spoken of. In fact, there's actually more utility for Nouns. It's a very interesting one. Ponal up close, catches Cynic on a rotation. That's the Deagle taken down. Carson could still hit 1, as could CJ. But their opportunities are dwindling. Good shot from Carson. Ties things right back up. Nothing is free for Party Astronauts. They'll just hold their ground. A race down long for B-Wills. He has an MP9, and he actually gets it a double dink. Viz now with the M4 has a lot to do. He's found the first. The second is tagged towards long. CJ, though, as well up close, goes down. B-Wills a good trade. 1 versus 1. Half HP. He has an idea as to where Chop could be. But Chop doesn't overextend as if he had 8 seconds left. He has to get the plant down. B-Wills half HP. Just plays around the truck. This is where he will die. Or he will fight. Chop catches him rotating. Unfortunate for B-Wills. It wasn't a good attempt. It's not good enough. The fuse should be coming. Okay. Yep.
Necessary.
Making a statement with those dualies. And the second for Party Astronauts is eventually secured.
Very costly, though. It was the force buy from Nouns, but because of the pint they could force buy again, they probably will, knowing the economic straits that Party Astronauts find themselves in. Chop has money, sure. Ponal gets dropped and off. There's 2 rifles around this, and PA need to be aware that Nouns are going to force. They should know Nouns are going to force. And they look ready for it. They do have a kit. 3 rifles, the op and the MP9. Lots of helmets, well, 2 helmets out of 4, or 5 I should say, and there's 2 Galils, 2 AKs and a Deag on Nouns. The Galils, very dangerous to 6C, Chop, and Viz. The 3 players, interestingly enough, who are holding on to M4s. Slower round from Nouns, interestingly enough, is they don't want to go aggressive now that they have something worth fighting with, not just trying to close the gap and catch people with their pants down, setting up for things. They want a more sustained, long, enduring firefight.
Hit 10, and Nouns are really just biding their time, not really getting much control in either direction. Holding towards A passively, holding top con passively. Throwing that smoke out connector to show some presence. But the bulk of the players are towards Monster. They're going to go for just an outright play towards B. There are 2 defenders, and I think a 3rd close by, a 3rd coming down. That is Ben Leet. Little Molotov response. Actually, just throw it based on timeliness. 6C taking contact towards A will quickly fall away. Chop. First at bat. First challenge. Good flash. No, not a full blind. Chop might just blind that Cynic. It's all on this duel. Good shot from Chop. Out towards Monster they come. The MP9 mows down 1. Goes down 2, actually. It's Viz to steal that one away. Carson and Marky, the round's over before it can really begin. Carson will get 1. Carson traded immediately, and the Deagle for Marky is finally silenced, finally put down without finding a kill. Chop, was he looking for the AK? It was right there behind the body. I did see it quite clearly, but of course, bodies are client side. Party Astronauts, though, the more important factor is the 3-0 clean start.
And more importantly, too, the clean way in which Party Astronauts won what was a more dangerous round than the second. That came down to a 1v1. That one 4 alive for PA. Nouns, of course, gonna go for their weird Cynic buys all in. Everybody else goes for a half buy thing. Cynic has the AK. Tech9's Deagles on the rest of the Nouns boys. As Party Astronauts have been getting a little aggressive out towards Party. He's peeking into playground, spots out Cynic, and that's the AK gone. B-Wills as well. Ben lead is tapping heads. Finally gets taken down. That's a gun picked up for Nouns to utilize. That's 2 now in their possession. That's 2 for the price of 1. And not bad at all, considering that was the AK and armor initially taken out of the picture. Hone alone now. Could hold the lane. I like how he doesn't take the shot there. He just slowly, methodically positions that crosshair. Doesn't panic at all. You can tell he's been around the block a time or 2.
Saw the bear. Will keep his eyes on the bear. This is a moment to fall away, and does. Doesn't have to pull the trigger. Calm and collected. 6C finds 1. Not forced away, but 6C again here to support. 3. Looking like 4. Carson can't even find the parting gift. 4 players survive once again. Good for the CT economy. Good for the confidence, and again, Party Astronauts, they have yet to win this map in their series of feuds against Nouns, but they are putting up a good case for it here and now in the 3rd time through.
It is early, though, Nate. Things can definitely change, and it is the CT side of Overpass. This is the strong side.
This is true, but keep in mind, throughout yesterday and today, it was kind of like streaky, or at the very least, you won your side handedly, then you lost embarrassingly, I want to say, on your opponent's map pick. That's not the case here. Ponalone and co are taking the fight to their opponents and making it look good as well. 1 for 1 thus far. Viz again avenges himself. We've seen too many martyrdoms in that way. And it's like the 2nd time we've seen it today.
At least.
So it was a Nate as well.
The 2nd time Viz has done it at the very least.
It was Viz as well. That's actually kind of uncanny. You rarely see it at all, let alone 2 times from the same player in 2 series.
Oh, we saw it last night, too, at the very least.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Stay alive to get your kill, folks. That's the lesson to be learned here.
Spam is so close to Ben Lee. Spotted player. Goes for it. Only receives some in response, though.
I like
flashes in. I like this mid-round call. Perfect. CJ goes out, though, reading it well. And Marky, CJ, they combine. Marky double on Chop and Ben Leet. CJ onto 6C. Pone alone. Left with nowhere to go. No inroads into the site. Is forced away. I really like that call from Party Astronauts, but Nouns shut it down entirely. They are finally back in the server.
They are back in the server, and it's Marky to kickstart it. I thought that the flash into water was going to be a good play for the Party Astronauts. I thought that was a good read. They just got demolished. Nouns are going to tepidly hunt for Pone alone. They're not going to overextend. They don't want to lose too many guns. They don't have a lot of money to work with themselves. Party Astronaut's not going to be too great either. Pone alone can drop Ben. 6C will be able to buy and maybe drop Chop something as well. Because their loss should be 1,400. Pone alone's got to sweat now. 2 players rushing up long. 3, 2, 1. He's safe. That was a little bit too close for comfort, though, for sure. And PA will have to shuffle some money around to be able to get a good buy.
They will, but they'll be able to get a solid buy, regardless. Double op, okay. They have a vision. We haven't seen it too often. We saw it once on Mirage, if I recall correctly, but...
And it worked.
It did work. And so it could very well work again. Keep in mind, this is the Opera's paradise of a map. The Opera's playground. 6C and Pone alone. Pone alone, a constant monster on the up. 6C also had his moment when he had it in his hands, like 1 or 2 rounds, I think. So it could definitely work out on a map like Overpass. Nouns, though, picking up the pace of it, getting water control. It's their play from there. Chop is holding with his MP9. That's a good spam. Cynic down to 41 through the wall from Ben Leet.
Ben taking more damage on the spams, but nobody going down just yet from either side. Now to an MP9, tosses the rifle over to a higher HP player. Alone's op shot does not connect, utility being thrown to counter a push. A smoke goes through and actually extinguishes that Molotov, but Pone uses that to cross back and keep an eye on short. Biz will go for the trace, and he does a good amount of damage onto CJ. 51 seconds on the clock. Nouns will start to make a play somewhere or other. Chop thinks better of using the smoke. Might just boost Ben up. The MP9 over top, jumping, shooting. I like the idea. Use the jump spam ability of the MP9. Go for a cheeky little kill. 30 seconds to go. Ben on 16 HP, and Carson gets the opening kill on the op of 6. He took a leg shot, but that's A wide open. They were banking on Danny to hold solo. Marky closing the gap now. Chop blinded by Carson's flashbang. Molotov into hold. 15 seconds to go. Bomb will go down, and it looks like Party Astronauts want nothing to do with it again. Double in a row now for Nouns. Despite taking all that damage, they still keep 5 alive. They get that bomb down. 2 in a row. This is where they start to build a T-side.
Certainly. It looked like they were sitting around twiddling their thumbs doing nothing, Nouns, and they clearly had some inroads elsewhere. Carson, a big duel on the SIG-C. Double op does not pay off here, as we would have expected or would have hoped. And so, 3 weapons will be saved. Ben Leet, you hate to see an MP9 saved, but you work with what you got. Nouns a second in a row. And this should be a save from Party Astronauts, with the players, the remaining 2, 6C and Chop, playing around their teammates' rifles and SMG.
Zixi on a 5-7, not going to overinvest into this round. Ben, armor USP. That's a mistake for sure, unless he's trailing someone like Viz with the M4. Chop's going to get flashed in and actually win that fight. That's a gun upgrade for Party Astronauts to acquire. They haven't quite gotten it just yet, but that's a good start. Ben, he's sitting on site, USP and armor. Again, that's an interesting call. He wills, though, pushing out through Monster, tosses some utility down and backs away. Carson lurking up A long once more. There's nobody on the site proper for Party Astronauts. If Carson walks up long, he will discover the site is free and clear. The 2 A players for Party Astronauts down towards Con.
3 on the B was walking out. Good headshot on the Viz. Second one expected, might have even been spotted towards the pit. The 3rd on site, though, might be an X factor. Chopped away. Ben Leet, MP9, he's been spotted. This is a difficult dance. He'll still get 1. Drop the bomb. A second, not meant to be. The spray, too crazy. Too haywire. It's 2 rifles remaining for 6C and Pone Alone, and 6C is lurking up the water. They have to know it's a possibility. Pone Alone on the flank as well. This is huge. 6C getting out. 6C could find something. He will definitely. No, B wills. Expects it, finds the kill, and now Pone Alone has a clutch ahead of him. They know it's a possibility. Not planting exposed. He'll miss the shot. An uncharacteristic miss, and that is exploited fully by CJ. The op will be recovered. No, it won't. Nouns 3 in a row, and Party Astronauts either a less than ideal buy or a half buy with pistols awaits them in round number 8.
It's an aggressive buy stance from Party Astronauts as Ben Leet will glass cannon the M4. He bought the op for Pone Alone and goes and buys a flashbang, gets an M4 dropped to him. This is one of the more aggressive buy stances I've seen from Party Astronauts in a while. Granted, we haven't seen too much of them over the last year or so. Viz gets a chance to reload. Get back into it, but he goes down to Chop, or to Cynic, excuse me. Chop was up on short. 3 players still here on B. 6 having to solo the A side. Pone aiming too high, but Chop bails him out with a double out towards Water. Water in the eyes of Nouns as they're down a man. Triple swing. Beautiful shot by Cynic. That's perfect crosshair placement. Now a 3v3. Much more doable for Nouns, especially considering the fact that Ben Leet has no armor behind his M4.
And Leet's still alive. He should be more closer to the front lines than he has been. On rotating up and around. Nouns, they always go in a direction, but they nevertheless keep the window open in the opposite, the door open for the opportunity. Carson still lurking towards A, and of course cynic towards short B. It looks like they finally have made a decision. It's going to be the B site take. The op is heaven. It's hands-off policy towards B. Pone can find one. It would give him a very solid shot in the retake. And there's the opportunity. Another missed shot for Pone. He's quieted in a big way. Ben Leet, without the armor, does nevertheless find one before falling. This is very doable. 2 versus 2 as the duo group up for Party Astronauts. The player on site is stuck. Oh, does he spam? Does he go for the shot through the box? No. Walk forward, try to look in every direction possible. There's the spot. Sixy gets the information. Markey trying to hold on, but Sixy wins the duel, albeit while losing some HP. Carson now out monster, finds the first. Knows Pone has an op, there's no kit. Pone has to go for the fight. He'll walk in. Carson holds his line, and Carson finds the kill. It's been a tremendous qualifier for him, and that is a massive 1v2 clutch to add to his accolades.
Big indeed for Carson, and now a tie ball game. Party Astronauts cannot fully invest into this next round either. They will have to go for a half buy. And Nouns starting to gain some ground on the disadvantaged side on Overpass. Although Nouns do better on their T side historically. 57.9% win rate when they're wearing the mustard. 51.7 in the blue. Nice nade in. Good opening from Cynic. Pone alone swaps to that Deagle to hit the ground, but he will also follow the same fate. Should be a pretty clean round from Nouns here to grab 5.
Should be, and we're in that timeout territory now.
Definitely.
Should be 5-0. Should have a buy in the following. Should also have an accompanying timeout for the Party Astronaut side. They had to talk something out. They need to set up their offer for success. Put them in a confident spot, because right now Pone alone is struggling, and the team can simply not make up for that on a map like Overpass.
Yeah, the lack of the op presence is definitely hurting Party Astronauts here. Cynic hasn't even needed to use one. That's the craziest thing about it all. Nouns haven't needed an op on one of the best op maps in the game. In the history of the game. Nifty little shot by CJ to mop up the last kill. Cynic farming up some eco frags, building confidence of his own. Viz going straight in on the M4A1, Pone alone back to the op. Sixy debating the op as well, but goes in for the M4. No timeout yet from Nouns. Would love to see it from this veteran squad. Maybe they use the last round as a bit of a timeout still. You got 4 timeouts per map. Might as well use it. They do have 2 kits, 3 helmets. Not like the helmets make a difference against the AK. It's just nice to have security. Decent nade damage on the Cynic and Carson as well. Aggression through Monster. The bomb is down. If PA push through, they've already got the pick from Pone alone. They can find the objective. Viz gets another. This is turning a bit sour for Nouns.
A big mid-round adjustment. Maybe they already had a new idea in mind, hence the lack of attack pause.
Yeah, maybe they
paid off
last round.
Yeah, 5v3. CJ dinked down. A tremendous individual shot from him, though. This nevertheless limits the bleeding. And Pone alone with style finds a no-scope. I wish we could see that. Can't catch it all. Carson taken out of the round in that way. And Markey. 1v4. He's had a quiet map 2. I think a quiet series as a whole.
Yeah. Especially compared to last night.
Especially, he was a monster last night. That was, again, the Deagle fiascos. The Deagle fiesta. Run alone from the side. That's a 3K for him. That is a big confidence builder for your opper. That was what we were asking to see. Return to form from Pone alone. The no-scope as well. A little bit of zest in there. And of course, an aggressive new look from Party Astronauts that does tie us back up at 5 apiece.
I like the idea, but it's probably not going to work more than once. Nouns got caught off guard, sure. They shouldn't be caught off guard again. Pone does not have the fountain spawn either. So it's more likely he'll just play for the divider pick into Party. Nade onto Cynic. Chop goes in. Cynic's got the op. He shows. He's removed by Chop, who's having himself a map. So far, 11 and 6, top of the scoreboard for both sides. Takes a lot of damage, though, and backs away. Marky dealing a lot of that. Clearing up through Con now. Zixi out towards long. Advanced past tree as well. Past the rock. Peeking into playground. He'll see a whole lot of nothing. Oh, he does spot out the player wide in the open in Carson, but he loses that engagement. Flashes himself out. Makes sure he can get out alive safely. Takes the long way around. The safe route to sight. CJ will not catch him. It's 5v4. Nouns have 2 players very low on health. Or rather, Party Astronauts, excuse me. Nouns do have Carson low on health, but he's about half HP, not one-shot territory like Chop and Sixy.
Correct. Still 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, 2 flashes for Nouns. And a decent bit of utility for Party Astronauts as well. 40 seconds left. We know Nouns are not averse to burning down the clock. There we go, Carson again on his lurk, on his play. Sixy, oh, passes with this player connector like ships in the night. CJ pushing forward. Has the makings of an A play. Sixy being checked for, wins the duel on low HP. He takes down Marky with some center mass shots. These 2 will continue in towards A, and this might actually catch Ponalone off. This is so awkward. Ponalone knows it's a possibility. Shotgun off in hand. No scope. No, he's jumping. That's so unfortunate. Carson finds that. The information's there. Bentley will race ahead of the Molotovs. Carson, no. Carson shoots him. And CJ finally unseats Sixy. It all comes crumbling down. The play from Sixy was huge to find at the second, but the fact that they passed like ships in the night undoes the round as a whole. Viz and Chop know that there's no way they can find a way back into it. They don't have smokes to masquerade the bomb, so they don't have any hopes of winning the round. 6-5 in favor of Nouns as we enter the later stages of this second map, this first half. And Nouns really have returned to form. They shut me right on up. The caster's curse is in full effect. But Viz does at least get an op for his teammate Ponalone.
He does get the op for Ponalone, but that op needs to have a lot more impact. Ponalone gets kind of timing jumping up onto the stairs, but there is the tactical timeout by Party Astronauts. I think a little bit too late. They had a little bit of a curveball play. We'll call it a 2-seam fastball. Then they go ahead and lose the next round. Get caught off by Nouns, winning a lot of the aim duels. What's the adjustment? What's the strat call by Ben? Does Ponalone have the spawn? He could go for a fountain peak, but he'd be a bit late.
I'm gonna say it right now. It's been the second time now that Carson has lurked up long and found it a success. It's been far more often than not that he actually does lurk up. Double stack long. The player in the cubby, put the op there in Ponalone, and go from there. I think that's your call.
You got one guy long at the very least.
The second player can come around later on after the early aids and defaults are dispelled of. Russian from Nouns though in towards water. And Lead is in connector as well. A rather interesting spot to do with an A1S, and CJ finds the opening. Ben Leet trying to push over towards short. Headshotted out of the round. Short or was he connector? Connector player, excuse me. Shot as the door opened. Is good trade onto Cynic. Just random one-on-one duels with no utility to accompany them. It's very awkward. 60 around the smoke finds another. Things swing back to Party Astronaut's favor. CJ looking to be the hero again. CJ, as of late, waking up. Another kill for him, bringing it right back to even footing. 3 versus 3. Ponalone has a difficult job ahead of him. He's lucky there's no one here, as he's alone on A with the op. But can his teammates, can Chop and Viz hold down this B site? It is going to be a contact play from Nouns.
Chop can get the... Oh, he swaps to a utility piece. He's dead to rights. Viz can't come up with anything. Nouns will grab a 7th. Ponalone will try and hold on to the op. This is becoming more... I like the idea. A for effort. B for effort.
I think it's E for effort.
Let's see if he can stay alive now. There's already a hunt from Carson, and the other thing is, too, Nouns are now starting to get a lead. 7 rounds on T-side Overpass is very good. You shouldn't lose with 7 rounds on T-side Overpass. Decider would be Nuke as well. Oh, Ponalone can't even get a shot on a Bentley. This is the one on the Carson. He's starting to cool off here. It is getting into the wee hours. 10:40 p.m. Central Time. 11:40 Eastern. I don't know if Ponalone's about those 3 a.m. pug lives.
I'm pretty sure he's a late night pugger, but you know, actual constructed games, no. We're approaching what? How late did we go last night? I think once me and the production crew went to bed, it was like 11. You went to bed immediately after.
Yeah.
Regardless, it was absurdly late. Half
Mag
by
7 for Ponalone, mate.
Mag 7 Ponalone, the Ponalone special. 60's down to 400 as well. Is keeping a lot in the bank though. He has 3350, so enough for an op probably in the next. See if Deagle of Viz is feeling Marky. He's just gonna fall. There we go. He does get one spammed with the combined fire from Sigsy. He wills a nice simple trade. 4 versus 4 favors nobody in this case. I'd say favors the T's, excuse me. Does not favor party astronauts. Chop spots them towards the long, throws an 8, does not stick around for too long, wants to wait for the rotations, which are coming. 4 players will be on this A site shortly. Nouns, if they want to plant, they have to do it quickly.
Ponalone getting boosted as expected, and he's removed. 6E will not be able to get that M4. He's still on the Mag 7. Ben will pick that up, though, but he's been good so far tonight. Chop evens it up to a 3v3, and still no bomb plant yet. Nouns think they can rotate back to B. They do have the time to do so. They are taking their sweet time about it. B will still posturing towards A. And in they go. 6E holding truck. If they actually peek him close, he might be able to find one kill. And they come. Swings out wide. Gets so much damage and traded out by Chop. Nade goes in. Plant going back for bathrooms. Top dice. There's no utility, though, for the CT side. No utility for the T's either. It's going to come down to dry fights, raw aim, and firepower. No kit for party astronauts. They got to tap and hold. One guy's got to hold the angle, one guy's got to tap.
2, though, it's a losing battle. Shadow spotted. There's Cynic's peak. They both get kills, and there's enough time for the defuse. They don't tap and hold, but they do find both kills when it matters. Plenty of time for the defuse to come through, and that is a 6th stolen away by party astronauts. It's not the prettiest of rounds, but at this point, a dub is a dub.
I think I need to clarify what I meant by tap and hold. Was tap the bomb and hold the angles, not tap and hold the bomb.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nope, that's fair. You're right. Prophetic in that case, never mind.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they had. That was the only option, was to bait out the peaks and expect the double swing, because that's most likely what Nouns are banking on. They've got 2, one guy's going to hold the bomb, because, well, that's the best chance of victory for PA. So PA, they hold their angles, they get their kills, 1 for each. It's a clutch round for the party astronauts, but is it enough? 7 rounds is hard to overcome when that's been achieved on the T side, and Viz gets destroyed by CJ early on in this round. It's getting ugly again, Nate. Ugly and fast. Party astronauts for Nouns, though. Looking more and more alive. Spray is wild from 60, only 1 kill. The trades continue in the favor of Nouns.
Lots of damage taken, though, on both Carson and CJ. Now Cynic as well. Tapped away by Ben, leaped down to 59. Still anybody's. Party astronauts, though, looking like a gamble potentially towards A. Despite the utility, despite all the contact coming in towards B, this is such a weird call from party astronauts. Want to exploit Carson towards the long, I guess, perhaps? But this is a wholly wrong lead. Should be done. They had to save at this point. I don't know if that was the call. I don't know what the play was. They're just walking it up. Maybe a quick flank? It's a save. It's gotta be. I'm flummoxed. I'm flummoxed.
I mean, they don't have much utility for the retake. They don't have map control. They don't know how much damage has been done to CJ, cynic, and Carson. It makes sense in a way.
But why gamble on A when you can gamble towards B? Put the Opera Heaven. Give him Molotov and a smoke. Ay caramba.
Well, 8 rounds, half victory for Nouns. Very uneventful finish to that round.
Very.
I will say, though, Party Astronauts have cooled off significantly from Mirage, where everyone was towards the top, Hone Alone in particular. Chop is doing the heavy lifting now. Viz is there behind him. And Hone Alone and Sixy, though, not really able to have the same amount of impact as they did on map number 1. Their pick, obviously, but it just seems that this Hone Alone, he's pushing short, and he's got the kill. Maybe that's what he needed, was to activate himself, take some aggressive fights, look for these duels, goes back to the single scope Molotov. Marky's gonna push it, flashes in, and down goes Pone, 1 for 1. Not good enough, Party Astronauts. You're not on the tees, but Sixy doubles down, and that can save the day, but Viz gets punished in the meantime. 2v3, Nouns, no bomb, but they can recover it. A little bit of space to work with across the map, especially through the midway portions of it. Sixy, though, yin-yang with Marky. Will Marky clear long, though? That's the better question.
Sixy's looking for it. He spotted the head? No, he's not. Native res. Marky turns around, gets the tap. Bomb recovered by B-Wills. This is doable for either side. 2 versus 2. Kits are present for both players. Smoke as well. Notable. And Party Astronauts again slow together. Going to go up the connector. And it looks like Nouns might go down the connector. No. They'll decide to go towards A. And walking up now. No one wants to give her the contact. Times everything on this peak. There's a player watching for it. One's holding A, one's holding B, and the other one's rotating A. This timing is everything. He could drop the bomb planter. They go around dice? No, they didn't. Get the blindside. Bomb planter destroyed. Second player spotted as well. This is very well done. Time is a factor. Marky's just running for the hills. 36 HP. He'll eventually get around the dice and plant, but this makes things far more difficult for him. He's paranoid about a flank. No, they're both approaching together. Party Astronauts might have stemmed the bleeding. They might make this a contentious one. Marky dancing around the dice. Doesn't get the first. It's going to be the defuse for Party Astronauts. A 7-8. They do recover a little bit in the end, but is it enough? Can they come back on the T side? We'll see after the break.
Hey Future Pros! You know the map, it's Mirage, and we're back with another smoke. This smoke, if thrown correctly, will land in the window on B side. To do this smoke, line up with this curb on the ground. Position your crosshair up where these two planks intersect. Then jump throw the smoke. Now window will be perfectly smoked off. It's one less angle for your teammates to worry about, and I'm sure they'll be happy about that.
Tactical timeout, okay. Tactical timeout right out the gates. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It appears we have a very important talk going on in the Nouns camp, but let's get away with the introductions. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs. It is map 2, it is halftime. Party Astronauts, they did have a solid start, a big stumble. They did recover in the last round of the first half. The question is, will it be enough? This is a map we consider to be CT-sided, and Party Astronauts didn't even emerge with the advantage.
Well, it will be interesting to see Nouns use a tactical timeout, something they almost never use at the start of a half. What is this pistol strat? Dazzle me with brilliant cynic. Blind me with science.
It's Kevlar across the board, I can tell you that now.
Yep. Nouns like to fight things out.
Yep. And cynic. Ooh, Party, it's a scary spot to be. CJ towards the long as well. CJ's had a heater of a game. He finds one and gets away. Pono, though, this P250 Super Soldier finds one in response, and CJ now towards the long bathrooms is in a prickly position. Ben Lee might just run him down with that Glock. CJ totally neglecting his backside. Will turn around, inked and down by Chop. 4 versus 3. USP's trying to play the range to their advantage, but really not finding much of anything. Pone alone taps B Wills. This is what Party Astronauts need to get back into it. A pistol round win. They found it in the first half as well, if I'm not mistaken. But this would tie us up. It should give them a second, a potential even a third around it. Of course, barring any Nouns shenanigans, which they are oh so prone to find in those forced buy situations.
They love their force buys. They're very good with them. But Party Astronauts, if they are able to convert this pistol round, which it still hangs in the balance, if they're able to convert it, would complete a big step in trying to take this T side from the Nouns. They have had some time to demo review. They looked much better on Mirage than they did last night. Already looking better on Overpass than they did previously either. Carson mowed down by a run and gun chop Glock. And Marky, last man alive. Not much he can really do. It's just throw yourself at the problem. And I guess get domed by Poen alone. 3 for him, 2 for Chop, 8 for Party Astronauts, all tied up. And of course, Nouns are going to force. Scout for Cynic. Deagles should adorn the rest of the squad, with plenty of utility as well.
It wouldn't be themselves if they weren't forcing. I would be concerned, more concerned, if they didn't force. It's 3 Eagles.
Think we were watching a different team.
Exactly. And you don't want Nouns out of their own element, right? Scout for Cynic, 5-7 for CJ. 3 Deagles on the remaining players. Marky, of course, is the chief among them to watch. Maybe Carson as well. But Marky's had a quiet map. There was a weapon that could wake him up. It would be that Deagle.
That's a good scout tag, but it's not quite enough for the frag. 60 at 6 HP. Might toss that scout to Ponalone. We'll find out later on. Or toss the Galil to Ponalone and grab the scout, I should say. Deagles on 3, 5-7 on CJ. Slow, meandering path down the beautiful streets of Long A on Overpass. The bomb in the possession of Ben. Or not Ben, of Viz. Ben is probing up a very aggressive position up through bank. Or bathrooms, excuse me. Cynic at bank is the one to get tagged. There's the shuffle. That's the shuffle I was expecting to see. Pwn alone now on the rifle. I mean, technically the scout and the Ombre rifles too, but everyone knows there's sniper rifle, bolt action. So it's a different thing. The automatic rifle. I like this boost though for Cynic, and there's 1 HP or HE on Chop. Will it go into this position though? They're just gonna clear it the hard way. Oh, just letting him sit in the smoke?
It's fine. I don't think he can jump over that high enough to see over it. So look at the plant with relative ease. Chop drops B wills. This is a round well on its way to being a convincing one. And late a second good shot with the Galil. No Deagle shenanigans for Carson or B wills. Marky, CJ, Cynic. They're already calling the save. Smart call given Cynic's a low HP. Party astronauts though, definitely happy. Definitely patting themselves on the back for a flawless victory versus a Nouns force buy.
They should be happy. They should be patting themselves on the back. Nouns will still have weapons to fight with in the next round, but a clean victory for the Party Astronauts will go a long way to establishing a strong early T-set economy. Nouns, will they get pistols on the rest of the squad? Probably. P250s at a bare minimum for Carson and B-Wills would be expected. PA know they have saved guns, they know they've forced. Carson will stay on the USP, B-Wills will pick up that P250. P250 close range, very deadly, double dinks are dangerous. I do have to say I love me a P250 double dink.
I miss the single dink days.
I think that was before my time, Nate.
There's no way. Close range P250 one tap? No way, you're lying.
Pretty sure it's always been a two tap for me.
At any range it is, but up close it was a one tap.
What year was it still a one tap?
Don't test me, man. Don't test me. I want to say 2018. Let's say 2018.
It was still a one tap in 2018?
Maybe 2017?
Yeah,
I'll have to look it up.
I just didn't know.
Well, we're looking at a world where Marky, I don't know, I didn't look it up. Marky doesn't even get a one tap with a deagle. He takes two through that wood paneling, but he gets it done. He'll get a rifle for his shovels as well. That is a good start. The best that could be asked for Nouns.
PA don't need to commit to B. They have time, they have con. They have a player up lane. But they seem content to walk in. Rotation stuck in limbo for Nouns as timing's gonna avail 60, but no, he gets dinked instead. And now it's sprint up towards A. And they've read it well. Tag for Pwn alone, not quite the frag. He needs to put him in the bag. But Sixy and, Viz are falling. CJ and Cynic with the kills. Two left alive for the Party Astronauts who cannot catch a break here. It's the second chance, the second time. And flawless for Nouns. The Scout, it does so much work. The Deagles, the 5-7s. It all works out for the Nouns. PA, of course, can buy. But what a gutting round to lose for the T side, where they could have got to double digits, had a 2-round lead, and then gone into the next with a nice buy to challenge for Nouns on this map number 2.
Very nice for them to have. I did look it up, Boggs. September 13th, 2017. So 2018 was pretty dang close, I will say. That was a pretty dang surprising guess for me. I'm actually very happy with that. But I think Nouns are far more happy with an eco round victory. At this point, I was expecting an eco round victory because of how often they find them. It's kind of crazy how consistent their eco round victories are. But I digress. Op for Cynic is in effect Opper's playground. Both the Oppers on this map have been quiet thus far. We'll see if they can wake up. Sixy, though, nice start on to CJ. Player who was instrumental in that first half, dropped without so much as a whimper. Good start for Party Astronauts to try and stop the freefall that was their loss to the eco.
Party Astronauts not really moving after that pick. They're seeing if they can go Nouns into any more aggression. The spray from Ponalone, not going to connect. He's blinded. Backs away. Still pressuring down towards B, or the Party Astronauts, who pressured B a ton last night on this very same map as well. Marky eats a nade. Viz up on the boost, looking for a player towards Toxic, spots him on the drop-off. But with 27 seconds to go, they have to go in. Marky dodges the smoke. He's around it, going through it, trying to get something cheeky. Carson around the pillar. He's going to farm too. Ponalone will shut him down. It's a 3v2 in the favor of the Party Astronauts, but the op of Cynic looking to take a shot. Ponalone backing away, though, the safe angle. Will he peek into heaven? He does not have a desire to do so. As B-Wills crosses, I believe Cynic's been spotted. B-Wills caught on the balcony, trying to jump his way on down, and Cynic should run for the hill. Here he takes the safe path out, and Party Astronauts will redeem themselves and grab another round. Double digits here. There will be a buy up for Nouns because of their flawless victory in the previous round. Cynic would love to save the op, and he'll destroy Ben there. Good little flick.
Won't be the best of buys though, Boggs.
No.
Looking at the money, like, I'm surprised. It was a flawless victory with the eco, but they reinvested into a lot of rifles.
Yeah, because they only got like one Galil out of that.
Cynic will be able to drop a FAMAS if he wants no utility. Probably drop an MP9 instead, if I had to guess. That would be over to Carson. B-Wills could buy. Marky could buy. CJ can
FAMAS.
Get... Oh, FAMAS goes to CJ, so no utility for the Opper. There's a kit. Better buy than I would have expected. Carson on an MP9, sure, that's less than ideal, but 2 M4s, the FAMAS, the op, it can be enough. Party Astronauts don't want the op, or actually can't afford the op, I should say. Their buy still less than ideal. This is a swing round for both teams. Whoever wins it should be up against an eco in the following.
Not like that makes a big difference, because we've seen plenty of eco round victories throughout the course of this tournament so far. No real contact made by either side just yet, though, as we enter the very early stages of the mid-round. Marky tossing a Molotov in response to some flashes forward. Chop will retreat. 60 just looking for that pick from short. The smoke already done on Toxic extinguishes the Molotov thrown. The nader is out of Flow's a flashbang, not an HE. Chucked in, but the op of Cynic wins the duel against 60. That's a big pick for Nouns to work with. Carson flashed in. Viz, what a 360 flick around flash dodge headshot onto Carson. Takes a lot of damage, but some style points for good old Viz. Has to deal with CJ though, and he can't do any damage in return. 4v3 man advantage for the Nouns. With a lot of time on the clock still, Party Astronauts focusing on B, and B-Wills with all this information up towards A. They only have a bit of a gap of knowledge towards short. And once the contact's made at B, Cynic's going to drop down heaven.
Jeez, here comes the flash out. CJ in the backside just falls down. Marky's still here. He's blind, though. They exploit him. Yes, good job from Chop. CJ, though, he is unblinded. He finds the trade, and Vamos doesn't double down. Ben Leet finds that kill. The op, now known to be heaven. Ben Leet's trifling with that. He'll find a tag, not the bag. B-Wills instead. It's the nade damage. Ben Leet on site, trying to buy time. So many angles to worry about. Tries to bait in one of the duels. Will he get it against B-Wills? Not yet. So awkward. 4-on-2 fronts. Dancing does bait in. B-Wills almost gets the kill, but B-Wills wins it in the end. Back to even footing. Back to square one. It is 10 apiece. The bomb plant will alleviate some of the pains that Party Astronauts' economy is facing, but not a lot of them. It's going to be a rough eco. We'll see maybe another pistol or two actually brought in that might not have been without that bomb plant, but other than that, it is going to be a save from the T side.
It has to be a save and a lead for Nouns for the first time in a little bit. They won the half, 8-7, on the T side of things, but things have not necessarily gotten easy once they've swapped to the defense. Although this is their chance to establish something. Pistols out, Tech 9, Glocks, and 2 Deagles. Party Astronauts, maybe pump the gas a little bit. Push it down. Use the pistols as they are best. Tech 9's up close and personal. So deadly and dangerous. 60 eats an A, but he's only on the Glock. That's fine. Ponalone, though, dealt with by the op of Cynic. B-Will's flashing himself in. Viz is his victim. Cynic, he's still posting up on A. Party Astronauts just looking for some damage at this point. Bomb plant probably far out of the realm of possibility. Even more so now that 6E has fallen. Ban and Chop. Not much they can do. One onto B-Wills. And maybe one more. Okay. Oh, wow. Actually, another one with the AK saved. Lots of time for Chop to kind of just be a nuisance.
And a smoke, those look at the bomb.
That was intentional. He just wanted the bomb.
A third kill would be huge, though. That's when the economic damage actually is a factor. That's when Nouns can't get that money built up. Chop, if you find this third kill, which he's prone to do, keep in mind he is the top of the server. Very long, not expected. Carson takes him from the side. Very well done from Carson, fighting his time. 11 to 10 secured for Nouns. They do rip away that lead as we expected. Party Astronauts, they will buy. Ben Leet has the AK. It's not going to be an op in play, unfortunately. There will be some concessions made, namely the Galil for the utility. 2 Galils in the name of utility, in fact. Nouns still have their op on Cynic and still have a rather hefty advantage going into round number 22.
No op yet for Pone Alone on the T side. I think that would be something that could really help Party Astronauts to counter the op of Cynic, maybe get an early pick. Con control taken by the T side, though, as 6E starts to work his way on through. Cynic has that very same op, and he will miss the boat on to 6E, who's crept up the stairs. CJ got a peek towards tunnel. Chop just backs away. The timing favoring CJ, but does Chop go back and check this? CJ's holding the angle for it. And now as he starts to move, Chop's on the right angle, spots the one, sprays wild, converts the first, goes back for more, but Marky trades it out 1 for 1. 6E back down Con, makes contact with Marky. The spam from Marky won't really do much damage. And now it's an ace sprint from the Party Astronauts. 3 up long, 6E going down the lane. 2 up on site proper. 1 is back towards Bank. The other one towards Sands will flash in. B-Wills could get caught by 6E. Does the catching himself, but 4 HP remaining. Up come the Party Astronauts as that Molotov fades. Utility in. Carson 1 headshot. Backs behind Dice. Sprays away a second. All up to Pone Alone, who's left alone. He can't even get the 1. Nouns closing the gap, looking for that 16th round.
The thing really pressing Nouns right now is their depth individually. Sure, Marky's having a quieter game in this case, but those 2 that we keep on talking about, Carson and CJ, they've been question marks to me. They've been finding kills. In fact, Carson is atop of the scoreboard for his squad, trailing only Chop in the server, and you love to see him coming alive individually and otherwise. He's supporting with his utility, he's getting the kills, he's doing it all, and he is a superstar now for the Nouns side. It's going to be pistols for Party Astronauts. They didn't even get a bomb plant to help the economy. And Carson again showing us how he is a star. 2 on spam, make that 3 on the Viz, Bono, and Chop. The bomb drop. Any hope at real damage in this round gone with that spam from Carson. 6E racing forward towards short with Tech 9. Can he find 1? Maybe with some luck. But he's dinked down. He's punished. And lead on a Glock is not going to have an easier time. In fact, it's going to be more difficult. Carson a 4K on the round. And a 13th now secured for Nouns as they begin to pull away from Party Astronauts in what was a contentious map 2.
Was it contentious, and it might return to being contentious here if Party Astronauts can put this round on the board and start to build something up, but the money on the CT side is beginning to grow itself. And Party Astronauts are beginning to fade. It's looking like their fuel tanks are empty, their boosters are out, and they're not in nominal condition anymore. Their Overpass T side looked very flat last night. It looks the same here. Just nothing really special. Pretty much the same sort of standard default. B-Wills reads it well on that opening kill. And I have to think Nouns are going to run away with this half. I think they're going to take this one pretty clean. I'd be surprised if Party Astronauts get 12.
I have to agree with you. Nouns are just more aggressive and otherwise playing together. 6E walking up towards short. He's been here so many times. He's being watched for an off angle. Marky's well holding Monster. CJ drops 6E. There we go. That was the player I was talking about. Viz does trade out Monster. Still 2 players defending though. And it's a disadvantaged situation for party astronauts. 3v4. They're gonna walk towards water. It's like a split towards A might be on the cards, but B-Wills is in connector and his teammates in towards the bathroom as well. B-Wills spots one, trays him down, tags the second as well for good measure. Viz, sure he trays, but on 15 HP there's nothing he can do. The op of Cynic finally gets an opportunity to shine. It'll find one. Ben Leet, the IGL. It's had an okay map, but a 1v3 with an op holding towards the bomb seems near impossible. Walk into it, can't even get the first. Good shot from Cynic, he's aware of the situation. 14 to 10, and I agree with you, Boggs. They've fallen flat. They aren't even finding bomb plants at this stage. It's looking like a 15th is guaranteed, and a very likely 16-10 is on the table, just due to lack of tenacity and ingenuity that we're seeing from this party astronauts offensive.
Yeah, it's slow with no purpose.
It's fearful.
Yeah. I just think it's directionless. They don't really know what to do.
Played for picks.
But they're not even playing for picks.
Yeah, so that's the title it kind of masquerades behind. Play for picks simply
Nouns
means
are playing for picks.
It's true. They don't need a direction, though. They're just playing their defense. They're playing their defense, playing their strengths. And they do have some sort of direction when they go for those aggressive plays.
Cheeky little boost. B-Wills tagged, won't really do much damage in return. Carson up close and personal, will not spot anything on Sands, but knows somebody's coming. Too much utility to say otherwise. I believe he's just started to reload as well to his right. More utility being used. It will not blind him. He takes down the first, swings around for the second, but Ben does trade. 60 with another 3v3. Cynic on site, though, will not be deterred, but Pone alone. Ooh. Can he finally get his hands on an op here? Round number 25 is Deagle closing the gap, but his teammate is so far away. Chops on B! Chops on B! The bomb's down lane!
It's too late on this flank. Needs to be earlier. Needs to be more timely. And Nouns should eventually become wise to this possibility. They're already pressing forward. They already have the bomb underneath them. As CJ is doing his dragon impression, sitting on his hoard of gold. Except in this case, it's plastic explosive. Shot. Woo. Expected, but he still wins the first aim duel. Good start, but 12 seconds left. He has to race down. He knows it's a possibility. Spots the player. Lag from CJ. He nearly gets taken down. CJ does recover, but that really did look possible for Chop for a brief flicker there.
Tech pause, and I have no doubt it has to do with that lag from CJ. That actually saved his life, though.
His head moved out of the way and then back into it after the bullet went through. That was kind of more unfortunate for Chop than it was fortunate for CJ.
Yeah, I think we are going to get nuked though here, Nate. I don't see another possibility. Yep, it is official. CJ lag, tech pause.
And the one tech pause you don't want to see in an online tournament is lag.
Yeah, because that could mean all sorts of things.
It always means some sort of modem restart and a lengthy tech pause, but we'll see. Hopefully it's just like a brief blip, like a flare in usage or something. You know, that does happen from time to time. Yeah. He didn't disconnect, which is the big thing. He stayed in the server and he got the kill.
Yep.
So that is encouraging.
Like a jump and loss or something.
Exactly. Maybe like a flare and ping.
ISP experts, give us your professional opinion.
Do I have a Bachelor of Arts? Definitely not a internet expert.
Well, party astronauts, they can regroup here, but it's still a long road back in. 5 rounds in a row would be required.
Required for overtime, not even for the game.
Yeah.
Again, it's 5 rounds unanswered.
Oh. Well, looks like we're readied up, so this one a lot less lengthy than it could have been. We're about to get ready to take the magical pause that fixes everything, but don't even need it. Fixed itself. Easy. Per our producer. Our observer. Keeping his finger on the pulse as well. Making sure everything's going right.
10 to 15. Party Astronauts. A lot to do. They have the op finally for Ponalone. Took a long time. 60's impact though has been largely mitigated. Ponalone's as well. And that was probably because he didn't have the op. Chop has been a star, but he has slowed down significantly in the second half. We need a return to form from everybody on Party Astronauts because this is a Herculean call to action. 5 rounds in a row against any team is hard, let alone a team of Nouns' caliber. Even if Nouns have pistols, they seem to have a 50-50 coin flip opportunity to win the round.
Well, the start goes the way of Marky and Nouns. 60 loses the dry fight. Chop does push in. The flash helps a little bit later. 4v4. Nouns still do have the advantage in most categories in this round and in this map, as a matter of fact. Going to seal it away. Salt this one up. There's the lurk from Ben. But Party Astronauts are still waiting for aggression from Nouns, and Nouns have learned that they don't need to peek. Party Astronauts will eventually hit late. Water clearing coming through from the Nouns. CJ wins that fight pretty clean against Chop, taking half damage, but that's more than enough here. CT side with the advantage fully in their control now. Bomb going to make its way on towards the B side though late. And Cynic destroyed by the entry of Viz. This is going to cause rotations back down. Nouns could get caught in this limbo.
Good shot from Viz.
Trade. It's the bomb.
Big kill, but it's a trade, yeah. 20 seconds left the bomb, and no man's left. The flash has to get player to and from, and it will. And lead to support ensures the bomb goes down. 2 versus 2, anybody's round. The op of Ponalone does chime in, finding CJ. Leaves Carson. He's had a heater of a game, a heater of a map. Top of the server for his team, top of the server overall, but can he get the 1v2, especially against the op? The answer is no. Ponalone's quick with it. He was slow to start on this map, but he is fiery hot now that he finally has an op in his hands. 11 to 15. The first of 5 found. Party Astronauts now 4 more rounds, and they will have overtime.
Four more, but it's a long route back. 60 on a Mac 10 because they don't have a lot of money. Nouns actually at the bottom of their economy too. So Party Astronauts win this one. It should be 13-15. I mean, Nouns could of course force. They do like to do that, but still a very awkward situation. Nouns could find themselves in very quickly. Cynic will be able to survive. B-Will's flashed, blinded, can't get anything. Actually does a lot more damage than I thought he'd be able to. Cynic does trade out on Ben lead as well. 60 trying to recover a rifle out of that, but he'll actually stay on the Mac 10 until he can finally get his hands on the M4. Now down con they go, leaving 60 as a lurk towards A to throw distractions. Smoke for Sands, bomb to be recovered and probably brought towards B. 66 rounds in the magazine, getting up closer and closer, sprayed down by Carson. 4v3 favoring Nouns.
Favoring Nouns, Cynic stalls his op. Lacking utility though. 1 Molotov, 1 smoke left. Ponalone is still in the server. Let's see what the ops go. Cynic misses the shot. Marky doesn't though. Marky 1 tags the second and Chop. He's still kicking as well. 3rd player to support. This seems like it's a Nouns round at this point. All 4 are present. The op Ponalone chimes in for 1. Not the second. And the last player, Chop, stuck in the corner on low HP. Can't do anything. 16 to 11 in favor of Nouns. It's a very close scoreline. In fact, it might even be the same scoreline that we saw yesterday. It was the scoreline on Mirage, not on Overpass. Overpass far more one-sided in favor of Nouns yesterday. But hey, a win is a win. We again go to all...